What we're seeing last night, this morning, and as we move through the day on Friday, is the continued southward movement of the rain system, which has been affecting New South Wales all week. And that does mean a little bit of brighter news for those areas which have been hardest hit, particularly around the mid-north coast, the Hunter, and down towards the central coast as well. The rain has cleared out of those areas now. Dry weather ahead for the next few days as cleanup begins, and those river levels will slowly subside. They're still running very, very high, of course, after the immense amount of rainfall over the week so far. Where it is still raining, mostly about in south of Sydney at the moment, and there is still a severe weather warning in place for elevated terrain south of Sydney. So we're looking inland parts of the Illawarra, the south coast, parts of the southern and central tablelands, and down towards the Snowy Mountains as well. We will continue to see that rain move closer to the south of the state, clearing out of Sydney probably in the next hour or two, clearing out of the Illawarra this afternoon, and then by tonight pretty much out of the entire state. There will also be some rain across Victoria and Tasmania. Could be some moderate, maybe locally heavy falls there, but certainly nothing like the amounts of rain we've seen further north.
Angus, when we were speaking yesterday, you were explaining how this weather system was really sitting quite still and that intensity was just maintained in that place. As it's moved south, has it maintained that level of intensity or are we starting to see it dissipate a bit as well?
I think on the whole we have seen it dissipate a little bit. We haven't seen those larger accumulations in those southern areas, even over the course of a day. For example, the last 24 hours, we've had a lot of weather stations getting between 100 and 150 millimetres of rain. And don't get me wrong, that is a very wet day. But we were seeing 200 to 300 millimetres over 24-hour periods across the mid-north coast earlier in the week. So the top values there, the height of the intensity has eased a little bit as this rain has spread throughout many new areas over the past couple of days, particularly the last 24 hours. And so hopefully we'll be continuing to see that easing trend through the rest of Friday and then brighter weather for the weekend. Yeah,
certainly fingers crossed. Angus, tell me about Warragamba Dam. There's been a lot of discussion and from many nervousness about it. What are you seeing and what are you keeping an eye on there?
So what we're seeing really is there was quite a lot of rain about central and western Sydney through the night last night, through yesterday evening, overnight last night. We're about 50 or 60 millimetres in the city, but that was up to about 150 millimetres in the western suburbs. Up and towards the terrain inland of Sydney, we saw 100 to 150 millimetres of rain, but that has really wound back this morning. We are seeing those numbers really falling away, clearing out of western Sydney, already clearing out of the city, as I say, in the next hour or two. So we have seen minor flooding along those rivers inland of the Sydney area based on that rain last night, but there's not much more to go. So hopefully that risk is diminishing, but of course check in with the authorities and the water network and the water authorities there for the latest information.
Yeah, and I want to go to South Australia in a moment where there has been a lot of drought. It's been very dry, just to get an update of anything there. But just before we round out on New South Wales, is there anything else that you're keeping an eye on that we need to know about right now?
Yeah, well, we are actually, because while we've had such a focus on the rain this week, the system is on the tail end now, as we'll be clearing away in the next 24 hours, but it's not smooth sailing after that. We are already watching and monitoring the next weather system, which is going to cross New South Wales and more broadly all of southeastern Australia, Vic-Tas, South Australia as well. And the big threat with this next weather system, which is likely to cross between Sunday night and Tuesday night, is going to be the wind. So widespread damaging wind, and because the soil is so saturated in New South Wales after this week's rainfall, the potential is really there for lots of trees to come down through the course of next week. So that's certainly something to keep an eye on for early next week as it gets very, very windy across New South Wales and other parts of Australia.
Yeah, appreciate that forward warning there, or forward update, I should say. Just on South Australia, it's been very dry there. Is there anything to update on that front?
It has been very dry there, not just through autumn, but right through summer. Even the second half of last year was very dry, and they're really on the hunt for any sort of rainfall across South Australia at the moment. And in the outlook period, there's two weather events that could bring a little bit of rain. So a cold front through Sunday night, Monday morning will bring perhaps 5 to 15 millimetres to some southern agricultural areas. And then about the middle of next week, we could actually get a bit of rain into northern parts of the state. Wherever it falls, it will be very welcome. There's nothing in the outlook outlook which is going to completely make up for the rainfall deficiencies they're seeing at the moment, but a little bit of rain is a step in the right direction, and we're moving into that time of year where rain bringing weather systems across South Australia hopefully will become a bit more common, and we can start to get some more regular top-ups over the next several weeks and months. But a little bit of rain in the outlook, hopefully more to come.
Yeah, indeed. Angus Hines from the Bureau of Meteorology, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.